2, 1. I'm waiting on confirmation here. There we go. Hello, everyone. I am back. We are doing Battle of Britain list reviews, and I am joined by Michael Christensen of the Danish WTC team. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Um, Michael, could you just give us a little bit of info about who you are as a player? How long have you been playing, and what is your what is your take on list building here?
Well, I've probably played 4 years now, maybe five, something around there.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of tools. I like having different tools, and I like to try to build lists that fits the packs you're playing. So
Mm.
when I remember to read the missions, I try to build my list towards the missions.
Yep.
So if there's a lot of objectives, I try to see how can I take the objectives.
A little bit
So
different from me because I like to build lists that sort of pummel the opponent into submission and just kill everything. So you're more of a toolbox player than me, I guess. Anyways,
yeah, well, you play the auto win nation,
yeah,
so of
I play
course you
auto
do.
win nation. Of course I do. I always play auto win, but I also have a tendency to like lists that focus on one thing a lot, whereas
Yeah,
you have a lot more tools in your lists typically, right?
yeah,
Um, So the disclaimers for this video is, of course, that we're just two guys on the internet and we're on the same team. So I mean, our opinions might be very similar, and our opinions are just our opinions. If we don't like your list, sorry, we didn't like it. If we like it, well, there you go. Good luck. So and we might be wrong in everything we say. I hope we're not. But yeah. Um, so that's the disclaimers. Also, I would add that for Battle of Britain, they're using Jogger Pack missions. Do you remember those, Michael?
no, not off the top
They're
of my
they're
head.
pretty similar to the book missions. But there are a few minor tweaks. Some of the book missions that we dislike anyway have been removed. So and many of the missions have multiple ways to score points. So you can both score points for killing and for holding objectives in many of them. So
Nice.
and they have one noticeable addition. It's a 1250 tournament. They've got 25 players right now. They're trying to get an even number, of course. But and you can bring, as I understand it, you can bring one or two generic reinforced platoons, a
Yeah,
single theater platoon, or a single tank platoon.
armored. Yeah.
Yeah. So so that is the pack. There's one addition that I would like to inform you and the viewers about. They've made sure that MMG teams and HMG teams, infantry-borne teams, have a slight bonus. They get suppressive fire, which means that once you target an enemy unit, you give them an automatic pin, and then you can
Oh,
actually hit it and give it a second pin, which for me, I was immediately thinking about Americans and the three MMG teams, inexperienced MMG teams.
yeah.
Um, what would you do with 1250? Would you bring a Soviet tank platoon? I know you like to play Soviets, or what would you do you think?
Um. Well, I'm trying to see what if armored platoons can hold or
They
contest,
can.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, they can hold objectives.
Yeah. They can hold and
Yeah,
take objectives.
yeah. Now you know what? I might actually bring a theater list in that case. I might actually bring a British theater list when you can
Oh,
bring an armored platoon.
yeah. Yeah, and
Uh,
we're not going to reveal that because Michael has plans for that. But there are certain lists that are very interesting in that regard. Right.
yeah, yeah.
I'm going to
So
share my screen, Michael, and
yeah,
we can
go
go
ahead.
through the lists. We are starting with Grant. And Grant Murray is bringing a Soviet platoon here. I am opening here. You can see it all. Right. There's a 15 order dice. So in my summary of this, I found out that the average was 16.8. So 15 is in the low end of the average, but still with within reason. 1250 reinforced Soviets. So I'm guessing that this is a dual platoon. It brings an inexperienced lieutenant, assault engineers with Panzerfaust and body armor and flamethrower. So a very nasty unit. Veteran squad with 2 Panzerfausts and 2 SMGs. Tough fighters on the rest of them. Yeah. Again, very nasty push unit. And another assault engineers, this one without the body armor. SMGs, flamethrower, Panzerfaust. 3 rifle squad, inexperienced heavy mortar. Sniper team, SIS-3. OT-34 tank.
Love that
Interesting.
tank.
Yeah, you do. Lend-Lease universal carriers, 2 of those. Another platoon with an inexperienced lieutenant. Guard squad with an LMG, which doesn't get a bonus. 2 of those. So these are backline holders. I don't know why they have Panzerfaust if they're backline holders, but we can talk about that. And a medium howitzer. So what do we think, Michael?
Well, there's a lot of aspects in this list I really like. There's things that I don't understand. First of all, I will never understand why you put LMGs in anything. I think it's a worthless weapon.
Yeah.
Unless with now they made them the teams to able to give an extra pin. Now that's awesome. Now they're worth something.
Yeah.
But mainly I just don't think it's worth the points. I would probably have skipped the veteran squad. I would rather have had both my assault engineers with body armor.
Yeah.
I would also rather have had the anti-tank team you can build with 4 guys with twice the rolls.
This list completely forgoes the anti-tank choices of the Soviets, which are some of the best of the game.
Yeah. I'm missing the dog teams too.
Yeah.
I love the heavy howitzer.
And the forward deploying anti-tank hunters as well. They are also really good.
Yeah.
For me, I'm wondering why, if you bring an OT-34, which is a really good tank, it is expensive though. Why you don't buy a tank for the second platoon?
Yeah, I don't. I would have loved to have seen a Stuart in there.
Yeah.
So.
Or maybe even an inexpensive Tokarev or something.
Something he could even have put he could even just have skipped another tank and put in a BA-20 just for that extra threat.
Yeah.
I would probably have gone 2 medium mortar and taken a heavy howitzer instead of a divisional gun, just to get the D6 pins. When you are going to pay that kind of money for a stationary gun, I do like to be able to give a huge amount of pins.
I can understand that, although I will say I do see the attraction of having both the +5 anti-tank gun and the howitzer in one.
Yeah, I would still have you could have kept the SIS gun, but still gone medium mortar, and then upgraded the medium howitzer to a heavy howitzer.
Yeah,
I would have found the 30 points.
Yeah.
I don't use spotters. I never do.
No. For you, where would you rank this list? This is a 3?
Actually, I'll give this 3.5. There's so many aspects I love in it. I love the 2 engineer squads. They're always good. I don't know why you would buy a universal carrier for the squad without body armor. It kind of seems unnecessary because when it doesn't have body armor, it can run 12. It's more needed when you don't have him. So I would have found the points to put body armor on him, because then they're really tough to kill. And if you don't put body armor on them, I probably wouldn't keep it at 5 either. Because the more there are, the more long live.
But then you would need a truck instead, wouldn't you?
Well, if you don't put body armor on them, then I think 5 man is not enough. I mean, if you face somebody who has 2 snipers, he's going to pick that assault engineer squad from each other. He's going to start by shooting at it, probably with both. Take out the flamer. Now your squad isn't that tough anymore. Next, he's taking out your Panzerfaust. Now you're screwed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't like the engineers, 5-man engineers without body armor. But I would give it 3.5 because it has all the tools,
Mm.
and just the fact that it has the OT-34 tank, it's a horrible tank to face.
Yeah, you're a fan.
Oh, I am.
Right. Right. So that was the first list that we got here. Second list would be from Johnny Ferg. Yeah, John Ferguson. And it is a 16 Ordnance 1249 British Reinforced Platoon. This is going to be good. Inexperienced lieutenant with an extra man, 7-man Gurkhas, 7-man Gurkhas, 3 artillery observer, extra forward artillery observer, medium mortar regular with a spotter, sniper team, flamethrower team, 25-pounder with a spotter, Sherman with a howitzer, second platoon, first lieutenant, veteran first lieutenant with an extra man.
Wow.
Yeah, I know what the trick is here, but there it isn't. It's yeah. Anyways, Gurkha section again, 7 men. Gurkha section, 7 men. Forward artillery observer, 2 men. Blood curling charge as the special rule, flamethrower, and a land mattress.
What is it? Blood curling charge do?
Blood curling charge means that you can't do defensive fire when you charge.
Ah.
For me, that's a mistake. Just because I see what the trick is here, and the trick is really cool, but you don't really need blood curling charge if that's the trick. The trick here is, of course, he's bringing 3 forward artillery observers. If all of those 3 push off, and he can because he's got a veteran first lieutenant, he can snap to all of them, turn 1, put down the artillery barrage right next to each other, 3 of them, doop, 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 and then everything will be pinned once the Gurkhas charge. That's the
Yeah.
trick.
Well, you know what? I'm not a fan. I'm
No,
really not a
I'm not
fan.
sure I'm a fan. I see the trick here.
Yeah, yeah, I see what he's trying to do, but I'm like still, if you have to wait
Mm,
till everybody else have done, because if you fire them off at the beginning, they'll just move away from it, and your whole plan is going to go out the window.
yeah.
You took a land mattress, so you're already telling your opponent, don't gather your forces up.
Mm,
So he's going to spread out.
yeah.
If he's smart, he's going to keep about 6.5 inches between all his units.
Yeah.
If he faces like the list I like to build when I make platoons, if I made a dual platoons, he would face 2 snipers.
Mm,
Now you know what happens when you face my snipers. You don't
yeah.
put your
Yeah.
forward artillery observers out.
Yeah.
So
You
either he
hide
has
them.
to
You have to
be
hide them. Yeah.
really good at pie slicing,
Yeah.
or he's just spent a lot of points of something that is very, very dangerous to put out
Yes.
if there's snipers in the game.
Yes.
Yeah. And if his opponent is smart, he's just going to go in ambush and wait for him to move him out.
Mm, yeah.
So
And
yeah, yeah,
basically wait out the barrage.
yeah, yeah. Now, if he's good at pie slicing,
Yeah.
well,
Then
then
it's going to be more difficult. Yeah.
then he's gonna have a fun time, and his opponent is not, because those pins are gonna massacre you.
Yeah. They are.
But you have, I mean, I consider myself to be an okay player. I wouldn't want to try. I don't like the whole sixer rolls. Now I don't roll sixes, but still,
Yeah.
it's very dangerous to build a
I like the
list.
fact, yeah, but I like the fact that he's going all in on a trick.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got the tools to support that trick. He's got 3 indirect shots with his medium mortar, with his 25-pounder and his Sherman. All of them could land on something that's already pinned. So yeah, and then the land mattress, yes, I agree. It does encourage your opponent to spread out,
Mhm.
which you don't want the opponent to do when you're doing this.
I'm thinking if they're playing 6 matches, he's gonna take 3 and lose 3. His trick is
Yeah,
gonna work 3 times, and his trick is gonna fail 3 times.
yeah, Yeah, possibly.
So that is because that's what happens when you do the
And then the only thing you can do from there is you can try to rely on his Gurkhas
yeah
assaulting and his Sherman being tanky enough to take
yeah
whatever comes. Yeah.
yeah. The problem is when it doesn't work, he spent what 200 points. That's no good.
Yeah. So
Uh,
an interesting list, Johnny. I hope you do well. I hope you enjoy playing this. Let us know in the comments if you see this, if we figured you out.
I'm looking forward to hearing how he's doing with this because
Yeah, me as well.
he
Me
can
as well.
really give people some gray hair with it, but he can
Oh
get
yeah.
gray hair himself, no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Then we have Leon. Leon is bringing Japanese. 17 order dice. 1247. I would really want to spend that. Ideally, 3 points there on on an SMG somewhere, but sometimes you gotta go with what you gotta go with. Um, a second lieutenant regular with an extra man. IGA infantry, huge squads of IGA regulars, full strength, 15 men with a submachine gun at NTO. That is a lot of bodies.
Ouch.
That is a lot of bodies. A Kempetai,
So it is.
very cheap order dice. A 10-man veteran unit here, rifles and a submachine gun.
Oof.
And then we have another 10-man unit with 3 submachine guns. And
Also
then we have
veteran.
an inexperienced militia green unit. So this is there are so many bodies in this Japanese list. It's a horde. A regular heavy mortar with a spotter, sniper team, flamethrower team, 3 suicide anti-tankers, a medium howitzer with a spotter, a tankette with MMG and HMG, a Hygo light tank, and a Kurogane. What do we think?
No, I like this list. Ouch.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
yeah.
horde with all the support, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, the only thing he doesn't want to face is a English Gurkhalist
Yeah,
with all the bells and whistles for a pure Gurkhalist because nobody's gonna want to run into all these men.
yeah,
I mean, he's gonna be tough to stop.
yeah, and they're pretty survivable because many horde lists that we see would utilize militia squads or bamboos,
Yeah.
so inexperienced dudes. This has some inexperienced dudes, but they're green,
Yeah.
and you got the Kempetai for that reroll. So so it's veterans and regulars,
Yeah.
huge clubs of them, and then
Yeah.
indirect fire and skirmishing capability. It's a
Again,
really good list.
I don't understand the heavy mortar.
No,
I do like medium mortar. I think is plenty.
yeah, for
Uh,
most jobs, yeah.
yeah, because it still has to hit on 6. It's hard to
Mm,
find a target that's
yeah,
people don't stand still long enough unless you're lucky enough to face somebody who puts something that stands still inside uh, rough ground where they can't move it. So
mm,
a medium mortar is enough for people to move. They're not going to stand there and take it. It shoots
yeah.
basically just as far. So other than that, yeah, I I really do like this list. I don't think it's
Do
going
you
to be
think it could be
fun.
better if he had gone double platoon instead of single?
Um, yeah, I just need well, yes and no because what's then he's going to have to make his squad smaller.
Yeah, he is going to at least pay for another lieutenant somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he has to find some points, and I mean, what's he going to remove?
yeah,
I just for me it's just I would rather have the heavy howitzer and the medium
mm,
mortar than the other way around. I would find the points for that because your medium mortar can or heavy mortar can only hit on 6 and
mm,
5 and so forth,
yeah,
where the howitzer has the option of shooting directly and hit on a 3.
yeah,
And the D6 pins will kill anything.
yeah,
It doesn't matter whether you kill anything as long as you hit.
yep,
I mean, a D6 pin, if you roll a 6, even a veteran has 4 pins left and it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like the heavy mortar if you're gonna go with anything heavy. Other than that, I don't see, because the thing I like about this list is also the thing he's gonna have to compromise if he wants to do a dual platoon, because the two 15 men
Yeah.
regular and the 10 men veteran and the 10-man veteran. I mean, he has to reduce that to get another
Yes.
squad.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So no, I wouldn't make another one, just because that is what I like about it.
Yeah.
Even if you're just sitting on an objective
Mm.
and going down when he shoots at something, these guys are going to be incredibly hard to move.
Yes. Yes, they are. For me, there is a slight problem with this list, and it is he does have some transport for his flamer, so it's not that, but it's the fact that he really lacks something to deal with tanks. His suicide anti-tankers are, we know, not necessarily as killy as we would want them to be. They're more
No.
of an area denial than an actual tank hunter.
But he has 3 of them, and if he puts them up right, he
Yeah.
can keep the tanks away. He can keep
Yeah.
them back. They're not
Yeah.
going to run up to him.
Exactly. So for me, this ends up being a 3 because of that lack of ranged anti-tank capability. But I'm guessing that you have it almost as a 4.
I would have had it at a 4 if he had a heavy howitzer, because then he can put his howitzer on ambush and the tanks ain't gonna go.
Yeah.
Now he has the unit behind to cover the lanes, and his suicide anti-tank up behind stuff, one in each side and one in the middle or something like that. Now he's going to keep the tanks at their own back line. But he's missing, as I agree, he is missing something to really hurt a big tank, because the medium howitzer, if you take the OT flamer with armor 9, medium howitzer
and
will
the Sherman,
have,
we've just seen
and the Sherman,
we've just seen 2 armor 9 tanks, so
and you can only glance them. You know, I mean, you can give, I think it's D3 pins you give with a medium, isn't that correct? I'm not a fan of that. So and that's why I think it's if he faced something like a Russian list with a couple of Stuarts, the Stuarts are still gonna shred his regular units. But the
at
Stuart
least if he moves up, he might be really good at deploying them in conga lines and using terrain.
It's going to be interesting to see. I just miss the heavy howitzer when you pay for it, because it keeps the tanks away.
And here comes one of the guys whom I have predicted will be top 5, Martin Knowles, with a British list. And Martin has gone all out. He's made a whole background with pictures and everything just to explain why he's taking Indian Paragurkhas.
Why do I take 1,250 points plus 2 free units?
Yes,
because I'm English and because I want to win the tournament.
Yes, I play on God mode. So it's an 18 organized 1250 British tank platoon. Da, 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 da. And of course he brings Stewards, LMG, Daka Steward, Daka Steward, Daka Steward, 3 Daka Stewards with command vehicle. And Gurkha Perez, 7-man Gurkha, 7-man Gurkha, and 7-man Gurkha. So no, the last one is 8-man Gurkhas. 4 SMGs, 4 SMGs, and 3 SMGs. Right. Indians.
So broken.
Indians and free artillery observer. That's 200 points for free. Then a sniper, veteran. Here he spends the points. A flamethrower, regular. Peer team, regular. 25-pounder, regular, with a spotter. Tractor. He could even cut that down to a mule team if you wanted to.
No, mule teams are not allowed.
Oh, I missed that. That's a nice catch. Or Sean Limber then.
I don't think they. I think horse-drawn limbers. Yeah, horse and mule teams. Toes are not allowed. Band units, war
Cool.
correspondent, warplane, and special character units.
Okay. Cool.
So they have to go with the tractors.
So he has to go with the tractor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And 3 30 CVTs, one for each of the Gurkhas, plus a single team in each with pintle-mounted MMGs. We've got another 30 CVT inexperienced down here. Don't know why that is there, and the others are, and a cheat. So there's a lot of transport here, way more than he actually needs. Yeah, he does need. Yeah, no, he does need a fourth for the Indians.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the platoon. This is something that if I was building, this is more or less what I would build. I have to admit.
This is something that if I had anything to say anywhere, would be totally and utterly illegal.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, getting 200 extra points on top of you having unsurpassed bravery, which the Indians get. So you re-roll morale tests that might kill you. It's ridiculous. These Paragurkas are never going to run away once a flamethrower hits them. It's just not happening.
No.
2 rolls on a 10+.
It
doesn't matter.
No.
They're standing their ground every single time.
Yeah, it's so broken, and that's why I don't think that Theorists belongs in any competitive tournament. Never, because this. I mean, have you ever seen a football match where somebody can put 13 players in against 11? I mean, it's just dumb. And I understand why people build these lists, but they're not worth reviewing because it is so broken. It's just sad. And the only way you lose with this list is if you roll extremely poorly or you're an extremely bad player. Yes. Because you're basically getting everything given to you.
You are playing on God mode. I don't agree with you that this is an auto win, but it is one of the strongest lists that you can build in this format. And a lot of the units here are completely overpowered. For me, this is a 4 bordering on a 5.
Oh yes, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
How can you build anything? I mean, it's a great list, even if you don't give him 200 free points. You know, you have 3 stewards.
Yeah.
By far the best tank for the points in the game.
Yeah.
By far. You have the best infantry squad, which is the Gurkhas.
Mm-hmm. And then you get 200 free points on top of it. And then
we're just going to throw 200 points on top of it. Yeah. So now you're going to start by pinning everything out, run your Gurkhas forward. Good luck. Good luck, guys.
And you even got loads of units to sit in your back line and just go on ambush or shoot at, because all the trucks can shoot here.
Yeah.
For me, I think this is more of a 4 simply because I don't think that unless you have specific rules disallowing tanks from contesting, I don't think the Indians are actually worth it, which is a controversial statement, I know. I would rather have Up and Atom for my Gurkhas or Vengeance removing pins for the whole army.
We talked about that when we went to VTC. As I told you, I didn't think it was worth it either. I still think it's crazy to get. But in this case, where if I understood you right, armored vehicles as tanks can hold objectives.
They can contest objectives. They can't hold.
Well, just the fact that they can contest makes the Indians worth it.
Okay.
Where if they can't contest, like they couldn't at the VTC, it's not worth it because you're gonna miss that squad to help you. But in this case, where you can just run your stewards up, you can basically press 3 stewards up to contest 1 and use your guys to hold 2 or whatever.
Exactly.
So when they can contest, this theater list is way too OP. I think it's sad. Sad. But I don't understand why
tank platoon, but still, it is.
I don't understand
Very
why
strong.
everybody doesn't build this list, because I think and they should. I mean, if
I
this
mean,
is what it's gonna end with if they keep giving the British all these extra
yeah,
things.
yeah. They shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
No.
Then we have Mike Parker. He's bringing Canadians. So a Canadian armored division. This is a theater list, but it does smell a lot like a tank platoon. It's got 12 order dice, 1248 points. It's got a Canadian Stuart 5 with that is a recce open top Stuart with an HMG and a forward facing MMG. Command vehicle special rule. It's got a Sherman 5 with a 75mm regular. It's got a Greyhound. It's got a Canadian lieutenant, second lieutenant, inexperienced. It's got a free Canadian artillery observer, field engineers with flamethrower. It's got Canadian infantry, 5-man with anti-tank grenades. I don't get that. It's got Hates ESS and stubborn. It's got a skink, which has light autocannon, 4 light autocannons. So that's a pretty good vehicle. It's a 9+, but it's open topped, isn't it? No, it's not.
No, but it catches fire easily.
Yeah,
Limited numbers.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. 4 light autocannons, that's really good.
Yeah.
And a Wasp 2C that has a flamethrower.
But it does have to do an auto test every time he does anything.
Yes. And then a few brain carriers for the infantry. What do we think?
Oh yeah, I mean, I like the list for what it is. I don't think it's going to do very well, but I think it's cool, a cool list to bring.
I think this is a list where someone has like one of each tank and really wants to bring their tanks because they've painted them up really and they love that tank.
Yeah.
So they just picked out the vehicles that they wanted to field. Didn't like look at the list or anything. Just picked out this. I mean,
12 order dice. Yeah,
that's going to struggle, isn't it?
That never does well. It really doesn't. It's too few. His command tank. No.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 shots. Yeah, I know one of them has penetration 1, open topped. Yeah, no. Anything can pin it. It's just not a good combo.
Yeah, and if you drive up and you get assaulted, you're dead.
Yeah, and 110 points for it seems very expensive. I don't mind the Sherman. I do like the Shermans. Again, the Greyhound, it's open top. At least it has a +4. I do like that skink. That's
the
awesome.
skink is really cool. The Wasp is actually also really cool. It's a very small. It's universal carrier chassis, I think, with a flamethrower. And it's got extra armor, so it's 8+. Which is also kind of cool.
Yeah,
and it's got a light mortar as well, so it has loads of different weapon systems and quirky little tank.
I mean, he has a great car park, but he hasn't
got any infantry.
He has 2 squads.
Yeah,
he has a 5-man engineer squad and a 5-man regular squad with rifles,
and then 2 officers, and that's it.
And he spent 10 points on anti-tank grenades. What is 5-man gonna hit? I mean,
nothing.
Yeah, no.
This is going to struggle. It's going to lag infantry, definitely.
In the format and everything, I'm sorry to say this is a 0.5 list. I mean, it's no infantry, 12 order dice. And he spent 1,248 points, and he has one unit that I think is really awesome. Unfortunately, every time he wants to do something, he has to make an auto test, which even if it doesn't have any pins. So what is that? It's gonna work 4 out of 6 game or 4 out of 6 rounds. It's gonna work if you go
something by like that.
by calculation. So I hope it doesn't fail for him when he really needs it.
But he is going to. This is going to struggle.
Yeah.
For me, at best, it's a 2.
Yeah, I can't strike it to get it all the way up there.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't. It
So
I
that
don't
was
see it.
that
I
was
don't see it beat anything at all. Unfortunately, sorry.
okay. And now comes your evil nemesis,
Oh yeah,
Paul Walker.
and I will give
And
this.
I'll have to say this for everyone, just to make sure that everyone knows that the only reason that Denmark didn't win the gold in Ireland was because Michael lost to Paul Walker in a game.
Yeah, yeah, because all my teammates won all their games, and I
Yes, we
lost
did.
the
We
one
did. We
game
won
we
all the
didn't.
crucial games, of course.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah. Anyways,
I don't need to look at this list. I'll give it 0 just because it's Paul's. Sorry, Paul.
right. Right. So it's 17 order dice, 1237. I don't get that. I'm not sure why that is.
Oh,
Is there like an extra thing? No, I don't know.
why would he not
Um,
use his points?
I don't know. He brings a junior lieutenant veteran with an extra man in the Soviet reinforced
Why?
platoon. Yeah, I
Why,
don't know.
Paul?
I don't know. He wants it to survive, I guess.
Eh,
Assault engineers with a flamethrower, double Faust, submachine guns on all of them, really
No,
strong.
yeah,
8
no,
cavalry,
no,
tough
no.
fighters on horses. Yeah, I like these.
But yeah, but why not? Why not? When you can, why use
Yeah,
cavalry?
yeah.
Why not use the Mongolians?
By the Mongolian cavalry. Yes, of course. Um, the free rifle squad, of course. Medium mortar with a spotter. Sniper team, veteran. Dog mine, one of those, inexperienced. BA-20 with a flamethrower, Tokarev. And a truck, MMG, pintle mounted. Second platoon, that's a junior lieutenant, inexperienced. So he has a plan with the first lieutenant, I
Yeah,
guess.
he does.
Assault
I don't know
engineers
what.
again, flamethrower, Panzerfausts, cavalry again. So he
Same
doubles up.
list.
He
Same
doubles up.
list. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, medium mortar with a spotter, sniper, BA-20, and a Tokarev. So everything has redundancy. I like that in a list. I really like that in a list. My guess is that he wants one of his lieutenants to be on the table and possibly inside of enemy snipers, um, and preparatory bombardment, and wants him to survive that. But
Maybe.
I'm not sure otherwise why he would do this.
I mean, I mean, it's not going to survive prep bomb because if it gets hit, I mean, you still get your pins, and it has what +3 to kill,
Yeah.
so they'll still lose a guy. No, I mean, first of all, I don't understand. I know you do it to get your spotter with you, but there's so many points to save by
Mm.
doing a inexperienced medium mortar save the spotter. Now he can actually put body armor on his engineers, which makes them that
And
much better.
get a few more dog mines maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I am still a huge fan of the anti-tank four-man squad
Mm?
who hits any vehicle with double dice.
Mm.
I know you do like the dual thing and the
Yeah.
repetitiveness, but
Yeah.
I would have taken one of the trucks out. I would want at
Mm?
least one tank. I'm missing anything here
Yes. Yes.
where I am thinking, okay, what's he gonna do against the OT? What's he gonna do against the Sherman?
Yeah, well,
Uh,
he has the BA-20s flamethrowers and can throw up the flamethrowers also in the trucks if he wants to kill tanks. But that is
yeah,
going to be always a risky proposition, isn't it? It's
but
always
but
going to be a little bit.
the BA is a great support vehicle, but
Yeah,
it's not an assault vehicle. It
yeah,
has a range of
yeah,
12.
yeah,
You know, and if you want to hit something, yeah, you have a threat range of 24. Well, the tank shoots what 40, 60 inches,
yeah,
so he gets 3 shots at you before you even get there.
yeah. True.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, this is good at killing men. Now, this list would
It
like to face the Japanese list.
it would. It really would.
Yeah, yeah.
It could kill a lot of Japanese.
Oh yeah, yeah. It would shine against the list we saw with the Japanese.
Yeah.
But against the list, a tank list, a tank platoon,
He does have
no.
Panzerfaust, so he could throw them up and unload the Panzerfaust. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
again,
maybe not
12
enough.
inch, you get shredded. Now, if he had body armor on him and he rode him up in Brent carriers or something, yes, because the Brent carrier will at least protect. but he's in what does he even have of?
He's got a truck, a regular truck.
Yeah, you can't run that forward because anything can kill it.
Mm.
Even men. I mean, I wouldn't want to run that truck up against the Japanese 600 men with rifles.
No, it would die immediately.
Oh, it would. So
And
you
then the
will
units
never.
inside will of course get
Yeah.
extra damage.
So I don't see how he's going to get forward with this list.
He's going to sit down and wait and hope that his mortars and Tokarev will entice the enemy to come forward to him.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And then the cavalry, of course, is going to go on the flanks, see if they can punch through the flanks somewhere.
Cavalry is awesome. But
for
so
me,
far,
this is more or less a 3 list, maybe a 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
This list is gonna play really well against some lists and horribly against others. I mean, this is gonna be good against men, but those two Tokarev are gonna shred anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll do well against the armored platoons we've seen. I really don't.
No, he's going to. He may struggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Philip. And Philip is bringing 18 order dice, 1250 Brits. So again, we're seeing a second lieutenant, inexperienced. We're seeing 7-man Gurkhas, 1, 2, not para Gurkhas, mind you. So he's not going to have to do the weird modeling with different headgear or whatever. A free observer, blood curling charge. So you charge without defensive fire. Sniper team, flamethrower team, Piat team. 25-pounder, Staghound, Rain Carrier, Steward, Dagger version. And then second platoon, second lieutenant, infantry section with submachine guns, Chindits. They've got that American special rule they can move and fire.
Fire and move. Yeah.
And they got they've have plus to outflank. A flamethrower team more, a British airborne recce jeep, a single jeep, and a Steward darker version again. So, what do we think of this?
First of all, I never understand why you don't find the 7 points to add a unit to your second lieutenant just to be able to withstand bombardment. Because you don't want to lose a Gurkha.
You could quite easily get that. Just cut down on your basically your 25 pounders.
Yeah. You don't want to lose a Gurkha man. It's too expensive.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand why you wouldn't use Up and Atom. I think that's the best rule you got as British.
Yeah.
Because you don't get defensive fire, but what is that going to help you if you've been pinned like a maniac before? That's where Up and Atom is just way overpowered.
Yeah.
That you don't have to make the auto test.
Yeah. For me, this is a really good platoon. I mean, you've got 3 tanks. You've got all the tools. You've got the Gurkhas. Maybe not that many, and your special rules basically only benefit those 2 units of Gurkhas.
Yeah.
With the blood curling charge, you're not going to charge with the Chindits or the veterans most of the time. No. So for me, this is only a 3.5, and only because the national special rule doesn't really match up with the units that he has. I like a lot of good capabilities here.
And I like the British airborne recce jeep with a flamer in it. It's really gonna be nasty. Yeah, it's definitely a good list. There's just a few things that I never understand why you don't find the extra 7 points just to be able to. But you know me, I hate that bombardment. So but this I think this list is gonna do well.
I think so too. This for me could easily end up top 10, depending on how good the player is. I haven't seen Philip crop up in any of the other tournaments, not that I can remember anyway. So I don't initially think that he's going to end up top 5, but he might do very well with this platoon anyway. It's a really good list.
Yeah,
and it has the tools to deal with most things.
That reminds me, I forgot to say, of course, I believe Paul Walker is winning. He is probably the best player I've ever met.
He is probably the best player that we know. Yes, that is, no. Anyways, Paul is a great guy, but
He is. He's
I
awesome.
don't think he's going to win this. Then we have Phil Mason from Scotland, and this is going to be the final one for this first video with Michael. Second video of our coverage here. So Paul is bringing a very familiar 1250 list here. It's got 19 order dice. It's got the free rifle squad. It's got inexperienced junior lieutenant with a submachine gun. It's got scouts. So 7-man scouts with lots of SMGs. 2 of those. So loads of forward deployment. It's got an assault engineer, 2 of those.
3 of those.
With Fausts and some machine guns and flamethrowers.
Yeah, he has 3 of them.
Three assault engineers, all kitted out the same. And then a flamethrower team as well. Dogmine anti-tanks, 1, 2, 3. Veteran dogmine.
You forgot the sniper team.
Yeah.
Veteran also.
Yes, sniper team, veteran. I think it's really interesting that he's using veteran dog mines here. That makes them more survivable. And as soon as they've fired their dogs, they can still do stuff. He gives them SMGs as well.
Yeah.
Interesting little way to run it. Not very points efficient, but really interesting.
Yeah.
A heavy howitzer and a gas jeep and an artillery tractor and a truck, 2 trucks and 3 trucks. And another gas jeep.
With pintle mounted on all 3 trucks.
Yes. Veteran also, please notice that, which means that he can outflank.
Yeah.
So the assault engineers might in some games come from the outflank.
Yeah.
And one of these gas jeeps, I guess this one is bought as an no, it's a transport. It is a transport. I thought it was a an armored car.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna use one to bring the flamer forward and a dog team.
Yeah. One of this gas jeep here as well has 3-man transport, veteran again. So I guess this is for outflanking a flamer team.
Yeah.
Or a dog team, depending on what you're facing, right?
Yeah. I like this list. 19
this
order
list
dice.
Is really cool. Yeah.
Everything more or less is veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good list. I love the 2 7-man scout teams.
Yes.
To put up on objectives from the get-go. It's very hard to remove them, especially if there's any kind of cover.
Yeah.
I do miss again the body armor on his assault engineers.
Yes. Yes, you are a fan of that.
I am.
But
I'm a huge
it does
fan.
make them way more expensive.
It does, but I mean, it's all in all, it's what I think it costs 5 points per body armor, so it's 25 points.
Yeah, for me, it's a really interesting choice that he doesn't bring a tank, because his trucks would all benefit from having something to move behind. Basically, he could use the tank as mobile cover for his trucks. And he doesn't have that. And I know that he brought a very, very similar list to Sealand Open recently. So I'm guessing that he's just trying out different stuff with this list, seeing what he can make work. And he knows his Soviets. I'm missing that one tank, right?
Yeah, well,
one Stuart, just one Stuart here.
Yeah, I agree, but it's a
could
lot of points
really
he has to remove for.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the fact that he put the heavy howitzer in, because if he sets it up right, he can use that heavy howitzer.
And if he gets the right table, I know he got screwed over by the Sealand tables.
Yeah, you do that now and again. That happens.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah. but still, if he can get some lines where he can run his trucks forward, where that howitzer can protect them, he doesn't need a tank.
Exactly.
And as soon as he gets up there, as soon as he gets within range, those tanks don't want to be anywhere near him.
No, they don't. Yeah. So how would you evaluate this?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, and I'm not gonna give. I would give it a 4, but I do miss the tank too. I still
Yeah.
think that as a Russian, and I hate to say it because it's another God mode running, if you want to call it that, but a Russian without a steward is like a
Mm,
Russian without vodka.
yeah.
Just match.
Yeah. For me, this is a 3.5 as well. I also really miss that tank. I think that he needed to cut down on some of this spending in order to find the points for it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But we'll see. He might do well. This is
Oh,
Phil Mason we're talking about.
oh, it
So,
is.
right. That was the first lists that we're going to do, Michael. So thank you so much for joining me.
You're
And
very
to all the
welcome.
viewers, we will be back next time with more list reviews from Bob, Brit Battle of Britain. Any final
And
comments from you?
good luck to all 7 we reviewed, except for you, Paul. You, I'm coming after.
Right. That's it.
Bye.
Cheers.